Good morning, students. This is our third video lecture of chapter number 2. In last video lecture, we have completed the service of insurance. In today's video lecture, we learn about postal services, warehouse, and transportation services. So let's start with postal services. In India, the postal department has been providing information and communication service for more than 150 years. It also provides service of agent on behalf of the government of India for many schemes. You can say on behalf of government, post department works. There are more than 1,50,000 post offices in India, and out of that 90% are set up in rural areas. So this is very important things that you have to remember. This can be asked in verb marks, it can be asked in MCQ or in short question. In written information and communication services, first is general post or letters. Information and communication can be sent through postcard, inland letters, covers, etc. You can easily send your letter in inland covers, and also postcard charging rupees 50 paisa is available in post offices. So very nominal charge you can easily send your letters. Second is registered post. Postal department provides service of registered post. Such posts are delivered by the postal department for which the charges are more than the general postal communication. If the sender of the post required a proof in the form of signature of the receiver, some extra charge will have to be paid. Here, student, please note that post department delivered your post in a certain time, and also here proof in form of signature will be provided by post department to the sender. Third service is parcel services. All product other than those prohibited by law can be sent in the form of parcel from one place to the other. If needed, insurance is taken for the parcel too. Booking of the parcel can be done from any post office. Generally, the sender of the parcel pays fees to the post office. Student, you can easily send parcel anywhere in India. Generally, the sender of the parcel pays fees for that parcel, and you can also take insurance of that parcel also. But one thing remember, you have to that only the things which are not prohibited by law that you can send by parcel. Next is value payable by post. In parcel service, value payable by post is more popular. Any producer or seller, on receiving an order for a product, sends a parcel through the postal department, and the receiver of the parcel pays the parcel charge and also the price which is pre-decided to the postal department, which in turn is passed on to the sender. Student, this is very important service because nowadays when you purchase from other city and when goods reaches to your home, at that time you have to pay money. Value payable by post means when the product is delivered at your home, you have to pay money. You have to pay money to the postman, and after that post department will gives that money to the producer or seller. You can easily say one type of COD, cash on delivery. The same way value payable by post works here. Fifth service is speed post or speed parcel. The postal department guarantees to deliver the post or parcel within a stipulated time within the places decided in India. The charges are higher for speed post or speed parcel than general post or parcel. It can also be insured if required. Students, here in a stipulated time, you can say within 24 hours or within 48 hours, post department guarantees you that they will deliver your post or parcel within the places decided in India. For that, you have to pay some more charges. Next is express parcel. This service is available for both individuals and business unit. Express parcel is sent very speedily within the prescribed time limit. Postal department sends either through air or through any other fast route. The fees for this is even higher than the speed post. Students, here express parcel. Express parcel means for that sometimes post department uses airway or any other faster way. Only parcel service is available in this service, and very much charge means you have to charge more fees for that service. So students, these all are written communication and information services. Total 6 services we have cleared, and these all are basic services provided by Department of Post. Saving services. Postal department, just like banks, provide various types of saving schemes or services like a savings account or a 5-year recurring account, term deposit, monthly income plan, senior citizen savings account. These all are saving services which are provided by postal department. So let's start with these services. First is recurring deposit. According to this scheme, the account holder has to pay the amount as decided on or before the pre-decided date to the post office. At the end of 5 years, when the account matures, the entire principal amount along with the interest will be received by the account holder. After 5 years period, or if required, the duration of the recurring deposit account can be extended for another 5 years. Students, if you want to compulsory save the money, then recurring account or recurring deposit account is very good for you. In this scheme, you have to compulsory deposit fixed amount on a date which is pre-decided every month. After 5 years, when account matured, the principal amount and interest will be given by post department to the account holder. Second service is term deposit. Term deposit is like fixed deposit schemes available in post offices. As per scheme, accounts can be opened for the duration of 1, 2, 3 or 5 years for rupees 200 or in its multiple. Interest calculation is done every 3 months, but the amount of interest is paid on yearly basis. This account can be transferred from one post office to another. Such an account can be closed anytime before the maturity period. Simple students, this is one type of FD, fixed deposit schemes, which you can open in bank. The same way term deposit is there, and you can also close before maturity time. Second, National Savings Certificate NSC. Those who want to invest in NSC will have to purchase it from the post office. The duration of this savings certificate is 5 or 10 years. The information of interest rate is given in advance. At the end of maturity period, of 5 or 10 years, the amount can be claimed by fulfilling the required formalities from any post office. Students, in National Savings Certificate, simple for 5 or 10 year, if you want to invest your money, then post department gives you interest for that 5 or 10 year. The rate of interest is pre-decided, and after maturity the amount and interest will be given to you, and you can also transfer your account from one post office to another post office in this scheme. NSC, National Savings Certificate, the full form can be asked in 1 marks, that you have to remember. Fourth saving service is Kisan Vikas Patra, in short you can say KVP. The depositor in Kisan Vikas Patra gets double the invested amount after 100 months, that is after 8 years and 4 months. This certificate is available only for prescribed amount, and after maturity date the amount can be claimed by fulfilling the required information from any post office. Students, very important service. Here account holder gets doubled amount at a time of maturity. The maturity time is 100 month. After 100 month you can get doubled amount which you have invested. Next service is Public Provident Fund, very important, PPF account you can say. Any individual can open an account in Public Provident Fund scheme. The period or duration of this account is 15 years. The minimum amount to be paid in this account is rupees 500 per annum. After 15 years, under the prevailing rules, the duration of this account can be extended by 5 years every time. This account cannot be closed before 15 years. Very important. You cannot close this account before 15 years. The money deposited in this account is exempted from income tax purpose. In the event of death of the account holder, the amount will be given to the nominated heir. Student, very important account, Public Provident Fund. In this account holder can deposit rupees 500 per annum. This is minimum amount you have to deposit, and maximum is rupees 1,50,000 as current situation. In this account you cannot close this account before 15 years, and very important thing is that whatever amount you have deposited in this account is exempted from income tax calculation. So this account reduces your income tax. So very important account. Each and every person can open this account for tax savings purpose. Sixth saving service is postal insurance. Prior to independence of India, as a part of welfare scheme, postal insurance was started. All employees of central government, state government and other semi-government organizations are eligible for this insurance. There are different types of policies under the postal insurance scheme. The salient features of this postal insurance are the lowest premium and maximum bonus. Very useful service for, you can say, central and state government employees. Here they can get insurance, and the salient feature is that they have to pay lowest premium and they get maximum bonus. Next service is monthly income scheme. You can say MIS in short form. This scheme is useful for those investors who require interest income on a monthly basis. Very important, on a monthly basis. Under this scheme, individual or joint account can be opened. This account can be opened for a period of 5 years. As per the requirement, this account can be transferred from one post office to another post office. If needed, the depositor can withdraw money based on certain terms and conditions after 1 year. Students, the person who wants interest on every month, he can open this account, and under this account, whatever amount you have deposited and the interest is given after a month. This account can be opened for 5 years, and if you want to close this account. You can close this account before 1 year after required condition that you have to follow. Money order. Money order is an arrangement to send money from one place to other place throughout post office. For this service, post office charges commission. The receiver of money will have to sign a receipt which will be sent to the sender. Students, this is 100% secure medium to send money from one place to other place. Here, receiver of money will have to sign a receipt which will be sent to the sender by post department. So 100% secure medium to send money. Here there are two types of money order which are provided by post department. First is instant money order, second is e-money order. So let's start with instant money order. By using online technology through which amount to the extent of rupees 1000 to rupees 50,000 can be sent to any part of India within a day. Very important, within a day. When the sender reaches post office and after paying the money and commission, immediately a secret number in a sealed envelope is given to him. The sender gives that secret number to the receiver. When the receiver presents a photo ID and secret number, he can receive money from any designated post office. Student, very simple. If you send money order within a day to any person, this is very useful to you. In this money order, post department use online technology. Simple, you have to go nearer post office, deposit money, whatever you want to send. Rupees 1000 to rupees 50,000 can be sent within a day. The post department gives you secret PIN number in a sealed envelope that you have to give to the receiver. The receiver present his photo ID and secret number and he can receive money from any designated post office. Second type in money order is e-money order, means EMO. At present, this service is made available in designated post office only. Through EMO, money can be received by the receiver very next day at his residence. Rupees 1 to rupees 5,000 can be sent through EMO. The postal department uses web service and computer network to send money. As EMO uses online technology, the sender of money will have to go to post office personally or visit the website of post office through his personal computer or mobile phone and fill up online form. The sender should fill up the name, address and PIN code of the receiver. Within 24 hours, money is paid to the receiver at his address. At the time of receiving money, proof of photo ID should be presented by receiver. Along with this money, if needed, one message out of pre-decided message can be sent to the receiver. Students, in EMO, what happened? In this service, you can easily send money by these online services. You doesn't have to go post office personally. You can easily send money from your home. For that, you can use your computer or mobile phone in which internet is needed. You can easily open form of postal department of EMO, electronic money order. In that form, you have to give information of name, address and PIN code of receiver. First of all, you have to deposit or you have to pay online amount to the post department. Then post department send money to the receiver within 24 hours. And also in this service, you can also send one message which is pre-decided to the receiver. Students, so these are two money orders. One is instant money order, second is e-money order. Other than this, some services are also provided by post department. Other services, you can say, they will provide foreign currency service. Also they can give you service of mutual fund. Then also they work as a agent for government of India, banking services, depositing pension money in savings account of pensioners. You can also book railway ticket. These all are other related service which will be given by post department. Students, very important, people have great faith in the postal department as it is under the direct ownership of government of. Now, service of godown or warehouse. First of all, meaning, godown is such a service where product is stored. We know very well godown or warehouse in which we can store our products. Now, objective, while storing the product, the quality of the product is preserved so that minimum changes occur in the quality. The main objective is that the quality of that product remains same and the product is preserved so that minimum changes occur in the quality of that goods. Now students, very important question is there, godown creates time utility for the product. Explain. This can be asked in a 2 marks. So let's start. After production, every product cannot be immediately sold or consumed and hence storage becomes essential. Godown is necessary for preserving the perishable goods. Some goods have only seasonal demand but its production takes place throughout the year. Such goods are stored in godown and when there is a demand, it will be supplied from godown. On many occasions, materials are essential to be stored for production, for inventory management as a part of commerce, and godown service is essential. So students, in this sentence, how godown create time utility? First of all, when you require product at that time, godown has facility that you can easily get product from godown. Somehow some perishable goods can be stored in godown. It means that whenever consumer gets product, they can easily get from godown. So we can say godown creates time utility for that product. Types of godown. There are totally 3 types of godowns. First is ownership perspective, second payment of custom duty perspective, third usefulness perspective. In ownership perspective, there are 2 types, private godown and public godown. Payment of custom duty perspective, there are also 2 types, custom duty paid godown and second bonded godown, means custom duty is not paid. And third, usefulness perspective, there are also 2 types, general godowns and special godowns. So let's start with first ownership perspective. In ownership perspective, first is private godown. Any trader or manufacturer who owns a godown for storage of his goods according to his requirement is known as private warehouse. Students, for example, Tata company made godown for their personal use. In that godown, only Tata company goods will be stored because the ownership of that godown is in the hand of Tata company. So very simple, any manufacturer or any trader, they made godown for their personal use, then it is known as private godown. Now public godown. The godowns which is owned not for storing goods for own business but for public use is known as public godown. Such godowns are owned by private individual or by an industrialist. Businessmen and other use these godown and they they pay rent and bear other expenses. Public godowns are situated near railway station, port and airport. Today public warehouses have developed as an independent profession. Today public godowns have become an independent profession. They guarantee product storage, maintenance and protection. Public godowns provide receipts for the products which have been accepted by them for storage. The receipts are transferable and so while the product is in public godown, there can be purchase and sale of such products. Students, in public warehouse, everyone use this public godown by paying rent. Here, the ownership of that godown either by an individual or an institution is there. Here, one service is given that you can easily sell your product by the receipt. The receipt is transferable. Whatever receipt is given by the owner of that godown, that receipt is transferable and you can easily sell your product. Classification of godown from the perspective of custom duty. There are two types: godowns for product whose custom duty is paid, and second is bonded godown. Now first, imported goods for which import duty has been paid but there is no immediate availability of transport facility to transport them their destination. They are stored in public godowns near sea, port, airports and border areas. Such godowns are known as godowns for product whose custom duty is paid. Students, what happens when you import the goods and when you pay import duty but you don't have facility for transportation? At that time you can store these goods in a custom duty paid warehouse. Now second is bonded godown. Custom duty will have to be paid on import. If such goods for which custom duty has not been paid are stored in the godowns, those godowns are known as bonded godown. Such godowns are located near places of import like ports, border of country, etc. The importer wants to re-export the product. This godowns facilitate by way of classification and repackaging. The basic nature of product is not to be changed. Such godowns are a blessing for re-export. Students, this is very important sentence which can be asked in your exam. Bonded godowns are blessing for re-export. The answer is that because in bonded godown facility of classification of goods and repackaging is there. You can easily repackage the goods and you don't have to pay any duty for re-export because from port you can easily re-export the goods. In bonded godown, when you import the goods, it is compulsory to pay duty. But if you don't have money to pay duty at that time, you can store your product in a bonded godown. These godowns are situated near border areas, or you can say the place where import and export is done. Classification based on usefulness perspective. There are also two types: general godowns and specific godowns. So let's start with first general godowns. Those goods for which no special care or special maintenance or treatment is required, and when such goods are stored in godowns, such godowns are known as general godowns. All products of different shapes, weight, volume, nature are stored in such godowns which are widespread. Students, in general godown you can store general goods like the wheat, you can say the goods which can be stored for a longer time. no special treatment is required for this type of goods. Okay, and this type of godowns are, you can say, largely available. Specific godowns, those products which require special care, treatment and maintenance, and godowns which store such products are known as specific godowns. Such specific godowns become important for products like explosive, crackers, poisonous chemical, cooking gas, petrol, etc. Some example of specific godowns are underground tanks for petroleum products, special types of bricks for poisonous chemical, for perishable items like fruit, milk, vegetable, etc. Cold storage is necessary. These godowns are expensive. Different laws are to be followed for safety purpose. Students, in specific godowns, specific or a special treatment is given. For that you have to pay more charges. These godowns are very expensive. You can say example of these specific godowns are underground tanks for petroleum product. In this type of godowns, special goods, or you can say some goods like explosive, crackers, poisonous chemical are stored, and for that special types of godowns are required. For perishable goods you require cold storage. So these all are, you can say, specific godowns. For that you have to pay more charge. These godowns are very expensive, and also you have to follow different laws for safety purpose. So students, in godown there are total 3 types. First is for ownership perspective, second for custom duty perspective, and third is usefulness perspective. We have cleared these all 3 types of godowns. Transportation services, last auxiliary services in this chapter. Question: explain meaning of transportation and its types. First, meaning: transportation service facilitates transit of people, goods from one place to another. Students, by way of transportation, you can easily transport goods and also people from one place to another place. There are total 6 types of transportation. So let's start with first, human operated. Even today, human operated transportation exists to manage transit of human being and goods, and it is environment friendly too. In many places, pedal rickshaw is still prevalent, which transport people from one place to another. For instance, Kolkata has pedal rickshaw, and in almost all parts of India, goods are transported through human operated carriages. Very simple here, human operated, because we know very well this is very environment friendly. In Kolkata and also in Delhi, pedal rickshaw is there, and from that pedal rickshaw, human transportation is also possible. Also, by human carriage, you can transport goods from one place to another place. Second, animal operated. For short distance transit of goods, animal operated transportation is used. Example, horse cart and bullock cart. Very simple. The animal operated for short distance, it is very useful. Third, airways. Airways are used for human and goods transit for long distance and speedily movement. For takeoff and landing, runway is necessary. For short distance and for less quantity of goods and few people, when runway is not available in hostile region, helicopter service is more suitable. Now students, for speedily movement of goods and also human, airways are very important, and when for that plane runway is necessary, and in hostile region runway is not possible at that time, you can use helicopter for that also. Fourth service is land transport. In land transport, there are two ways. First is railways and second is roadways. First start with railways. Human and goods transit take place through railways. Usually diesel or electricity is used for railway engine. Many a times, many coaches or all coaches have fuel engine which are known as multiple unit train. Student, this is very important. This can be asked in 1 mark. What is mean by multiple unit train? You can say many a times, many coaches or more coaches or all coaches have fuel engine, then it is known as multiple unit train. Presently, railway uses cable, gravitation force, magnetic force, etc. for these engines, and also CNG is being used as fuel in India for railway engine. Students, railway very useful and lifeline for India and some other cities like Bombay and Delhi. Railway or you can say metro is lifeline for that cities. Now roadways. In roadways, there is freedom to move from one road to another, to change place, direction. It is possible to provide this service at the doorstep. Yes, possible to provide service at doorstep. Bus is an effective way of transportation for people. Because of vehicular traffic, the problems of air pollution, noise pollution, traffic jam, and parking arises. Due to this, in many cities, bus rapid transit system means BRTS has started. In Gujarat, this service is prevalent in cities like Ahmedabad, Surat, Rajkot, etc. Roadways is also very useful in within the country. When you want to move goods from one place to another, truck is also very useful. In cities like Ahmedabad, Surat and Rajkot, BRTS has started. For that, dedicated road is made. So roadways and railways, these are two way of land transportation. Fifth service is waterways. Sea, river, lake, canal are some of the waterways on which boats, ferries, ships, etc. provide water transportation. Nearby seashore places or where water and even land is there, hovercraft is used which uses a giant high-speed fan. Big dams are constructed and water is made available to distant places through canals. Canals are also used as waterways. Foreign trade takes place mostly through waterways. At the nearby coastal areas, ferry services has proved very profitable. Students, you know very well, waterways very important for international transportation. When there is an international trade, the goods reaches through waterways, and nearer to coastal areas like Bombay and Goa, ferry services prove very profitable. And last is transport or a transit through pipeline. Pipeline is used for liquid or gaseous product. This arrangement is useful for transportation of fluid waste, water, petroleum, natural gas, etc. In India, oil and petroleum products are transported through pipeline in states like Assam, Bihar, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, and Haryana. So, for uninterrupted service, pipeline is very useful. Gaseous product and oil and also water you can easily transport or transit from one place to another place. So, students, these all are total 6 transportation services. In this chapter, we have completed the service of warehouse, transportation and postal services in today's video lecture. In chapter number 2, we have completed total 4 business services. First is insurance, second is postal, third is warehouse and fourth is transportation service. We have In today's video lecture, we have completed chapter number 2. In chapter number 3, next auxiliary service of banking we learn in next video lecture. Till then students, goodbye and Jai Shri Krishna.